In part 2 of an introduction to HTML5, we're going to look at adding tables and then start to explore a little bit of cascading style sheets or CSS as we start to format our table. A table is a useful structural element to add to our page. We're going to create a table that has 2 columns and 2 rows. We start our table by adding in our table tag, less than bracket, table, greater than bracket, and closing our table. So this marks the start and the finish of the table. You will note that we have given it an attribute, which is its border, and a value of 1. The next element we add in is our table row. Each row is marked by a tr tag. We add in our second one to give us our 2 rows going across. Now we set up the cells within the row. We use our td tag to set up each cell. Now we're going to create some advanced tables, and we're going to use some specific elements to define areas within the table. We're going to use the thead tag to define the head of the table, the tbody tag to define the table body, and the tfoot tag to define the footer of the table. Build a new table. Open a new table tag, add in the border attribute, and add in a new attribute which is border color. Select a color you like. Create the head of your table. Use the table head tag, thead, open and close that to define the start and finish of this. Then create a row between the opening and closing head tags, and add in your head elements using the th and close th tags. Then create the table body using the tbody tag. Open and close this. Now let's add in our rows within the body of it. Our first column we still want to be formatted as a table head, so we use the th tag here. The remaining 2 columns are just formatted using our td and close td tags. Finally, we put in our table foot. Because we want the bottom left cell to be empty, we put in a td as a placeholder, but we don't put any content in there. Then we put in our next 2 cells using our td tags with the final values. We've now created the framework for the table, but we're going to alter its appearance using a new element, a style. We're going to add our style tags into the head of our page. So it goes between the 2 head tags, and we open up a style tag and we close it. We need to format it and say what type of style we're using, and we go type equals text/CSS, which tells us that this is a cascading style sheet. Then we start to format the element of our table that we've selected. In this case, we're going to format the table head cells. And we do this by adding the th, which says we're going to format the table head cells, and opening the 2 wavy brackets, an open and a closed wavy bracket. We now add in our formatting for the content of our th cell. We start with font weight, which is a measure of boldness. A font weight of 100 is a very light font, 900 is a very heavy, dark, bold font. So we're going to make our font weight 900. Then we're going to align the text to the center of the cell, and we're going to do something called a text transformation, which is going to make all of the text into uppercase. The structural syntax of how we write this is important. There are no spaces between the dash that joins the font and weight. We use a full colon and then put in our value, and a semicolon to mark the end of our attribute. So it's font dash weight, full colon, 900 semicolon. Now let's go through and format our table cells, or our td tag. In this case, we're going to set the font weight to be 500, but we're going to keep the text alignment using the text-align attribute as centered. We can also use styles to go through and format our paragraph text. Let's go through and have a look at this particular style. Again, it appears between our style tags in the head of our page. We start by setting the font weight, the level of boldness, to 500. We go text alignment to the left. We select the color to be red. We're going to use something called text decoration, and two of its values are underline and overline. I can then set the size of my font using the font-size attribute, and I can also select the font family as well. In this case, the font family is Arial. Underneath your table, add in a paragraph tag, put some text into it, and then add your style for your paragraph tag in the style tags in your head.